I am a simple man. I see Killjadi. I see Order of the Dragon. I watch. Welcome back to the AoE4 action, folks. We've got Killjadi up against Zertan. That's right, the guy in the purple, Ronnie Pickering. We have ID'd them. This is, in fact, Zertan from my Insanity's account. Ayyubid is a very powerful pick right now. Ayyubid, in general, doesn't feel like it has many clean and reliable counters. So I'm curious to see what Killjadi has in mind picking Order of the Dragon. Order of the Dragon that is one of the least represented civs in recent tournament play, right? Like, it's kind of funny that they had one of the highest win rates, but one of the lowest game counts. So, like, overall, they were played... I think Order of the Dragon were played the least out of any civ at all. Even the French in competitive right now gets played more than the Dragon. Dragon had 5 picks across the Elite Classic 2. French, the next least played, had 10. That is wild to think about. So, curious to see, actually, what he's going to show us, what we haven't been seeing. Because I think, you know, they did receive some decent buffs. The Mindwork buff was nice. The Arkan Chapel buff was interesting. I'm wondering, genuinely, if we're going to be seeing a lot more Arkan Chapel play now. Because Arkan Chapel might give the reliability playing later in the game that was kind of missing for the Dragon. That booster of an extra 5% on a 28% base rate is quite substantial. The Sheep Hall, however, is not going to be substantial. Check out the interesting rotation by Zertan. Oh, dude, that's sick. So he scouted, he saw Killjadi loop this pond and then immediately cut him off. So he's now going to chase ahead of him. He's going to shadow the movements. And it means that Killjadi shouldn't be getting many sheep moving forward here. In fact, if Killjadi's gaming instincts doesn't kind of trigger and he realizes what's happening here and pivot straight to the northwest, he's just going to shadow all the way. Dude, that's a sick rotation out of Zertan. That's such a big deal. And now that's going to take him around to the pond area, which is also a bigger deal, right? That's where you're going to find the most sheep. It looks like Killjadi has sensed that something's not right here. He's going to start rotating inwards sooner rather than later. But overall, this favors purple now, right? Unless Killjadi dives all the way to the corner here to cut him off and to keep him in contest. I'm wondering if Killjadi is sensing that something like that is going on. He wanted to prioritize scouting around this pond, right? Because he actually has gone fishing. That is already kind of wild out of Killjadi. It looks like the scout... They almost see each other. So the nice thing about this rotation now for Killjadi is he'll be able to circle around the back of the base and he'll be able to scan for the berries and what's happening there. When he sees that the berries are not being fully exhausted, he should be aware that it's going to be a growth wing, either now or in Castle Age. And guys, it is going to be that perfect cutoff. Look at this. So Killjadi won't even see him. He only has this idea in his mind now that he needs to rotate all the way to the corner because he saw his opponent run past him in this area, presumably. And it does mean that Killjadi is actually going to get a pretty decent sheep pool. Now, at the end of the day, Ayyubids do have the extra berries to work with, so it kind of offsets the pain of that. But this puts Killjadi further ahead now. Having the extra sheep and having the fishing is a very big thumbs up for him. Scout, nothing left in that corner, so it should just be a return home. I think that's the final split, right? 14 to 11. And keep in mind that this has been actively being gathered from, so there was a few extra sheep in there for both sides. The Mindwork on the way. You know, Mindwork is an interesting one overall, right? Like that buff, 10% faster, 10% bigger discount. Doesn't sound like a lot, but for these early timing attacks, it matters a lot, especially against a civ like the Ayyubids that's all about optimized tech choices, right? Getting to your next timing, your timing window faster. I'm curious to see if this is going to be any sort of feudal pressure coming out. I don't think so, though, and maybe this is for the better, and this is the goal from Zertan. It's like he realized, okay, I'm up against the Order of the Dragon. They have some premium firepower in Feudal Age. I can't really contest them with the Desert Raider opening, so I need to play full greed into Advancement Wing. This, to me, is a weaker build for the Ayyubids. I think it's kind of understandable in this matchup, but it doesn't feel great to have to do. By going for Advancement Wing, it means you're not going to have that Golden Age 2, so you're not going to have quick Blacksmith tech unlocks or a scaling army. You're going to have to scale it all from the moment you begin Castle. And that just makes you a little bit slower to be present. And considering the opening from Killjadi, the way that he's gone into the fishing, the way he's gone into the Mindwork Palace, and he has so much food to work with, he could punish this quite significantly if he goes to a Feudal all-in. And I've got a feeling we might be looking at Feudal all-in, right? Like, typically when you see Mindwork, there is a desire to aggro. I would love to see Killjadi use this proxy location with the villager on the dock to just build Raxes and archery ranges and go. It cuts the distance in half to arrive in the enemy base, and also it allows you to sneak him from a location he might not notice. But instead, it's just going to be an archery range at home. but it is going to be the pressure. And now, Zerton, he's so close to teching advancement, there's no way he's going to stop, right? So you're not going to see him adding in any sort of production yet. He hasn't even moved across onto wood. And it makes sense, right? Like, the first archer is going to come out in 18 seconds. He then has to walk across the map. That's going to be an extra 20 seconds. So you definitely have enough time to get away with what you're doing here, going for the tech up. But when you arrive, Gilded Archers, especially if there's a Racks to assist, is going to be an effective counter to whatever Zerton has coming out at the beginning of that age. Full play. Oh, that's actually a heavy loss. Kiljadi ends up losing one of the villages. I'm so confused right now. He gathered, a tactical rather, with 4, and he built the mill with the other. That's surprising, and that's so unnecessary here. You need to attack with all 5 to guarantee a clean kill. Otherwise, you're going to end up very injured like this. So, yeah, bit of a weird one there. Unnecessary loss, and I think Zerton has to be happy with that. Small things make the bar, right? Rack's now being dropped as well. Speaking of small distances and the mile, right? Like, once again, the Racks out here would have been so much better for the timing attack here. One thing that's really annoying if you're playing Order of the Dented at this stage is, like, now if you're going with this all-in timing, you need to deal with the outpost. And outpost kind of hard suck for Order of the Dragon to deal with, especially in this matchup, because building rams takes a very long time. Oil out on the berries. A substantial amount of food actually just got denied there, right? It's about 800 resources that you can't access. Puts more strain on the limited sheep you have to work with, which is 10 in total. Meanwhile, 17 on the other side, as well as fishing. Very cozy game for Kiljadi. Spinman upgrades also coming in, so he's already anticipating this is going to be a play into the stables. Honestly, I'd really love to see the reaction coming out from Zerton to be Gulems here. Gulems, they can struggle a little bit to gap close on the archers. These units are very tanky, sure, but like it makes sure you have an answer to pave the way. Like Gulems plus archers, the Ayubids at this stage would be pretty cost efficient. If you think about it, compared to going camel lancers and potentially archers afterwards, that's a lot more expensive as a comp. And the other thing that's awkward right now is with these Gilded Archers poking and prodding at your gold, you have less gold to work with. Going for camel lancers is a more expensive comp than the Gulems, especially in the gold department. Looks like it's going to be stables anyway, though. Zerton's like nodding his head, he's like, I hear everything you're saying, but I don't care. I just love how Kiljadi's being a nuisance over time here. Ooh. Almost so close. Zerton now just idle on that gold. Doesn't have much to produce with if this is always always restricted to, rather. Tech up complete, though. This is still so painful and annoying, actually, for Zerton. He's going to have to pull back from the gold. So he has the ability to get, what, 2 camel lancers? That's terrible. And now there's no emplacement. Wait, what? Zerton! I mean, he's going to move out for the north side gold, but this is going to come at a price, right? Burn through on the outpost. Dive towards the village on the berries. So that's going to be a freebie. Limited food to work with. Moss coming in behind this. This is already feeling greedy from Zerton. He needs gold, sure, but like also you need units. And the ram is on the way. Kiljadi. True to his namesake. He's here to kill you and put you in a jar that for some reason has the letter I. He never explained why. Oh, this is going to be so bloody annoying. The housing situation as well. Like 2 houses here, that's easy targets, right? Like if you just camp with the Gilded Archers, villagers can't be pulled to deal with that. So this is about to be quite an awkward predicament for Zerton to try and find his way out of. Ram actually knocking in the House of Wisdom. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Makes a lot more sense to actually just go after the houses here. I think Kiljadi knows it as well, so he's going to just turn around onto them. Problematic considering that your opponent's now going to Golem spam. Camel Lance is at least going to come out. Gilded Archers are going to tickle away at him, though, and they do have the +1 damage, so 3 damage going through on those camels. Quite painful. Scout is going to be thrown away. That's a little bit cumbersome by Kiljadi. Looks like there is going to be a raid out from the other Camel Lancer, just hitting onto the economy that he knew about early. Does actually find a strike there. Gets a second villager kill for the game. The second ram now coming in. This is where it's going to start to get quite annoying. New house being rushed up. In fact, 3 houses at the backside of this. What home? New spearman coming in to defend. Army big enough to continue to contest. No blacksmiths yet, remember, because he keeps spending all that wood on the houses. He doesn't actually have that solution yet. Dive comes in from the spearmen. Gilded Archers carving them off, and all of a sudden, Zertan gonna lose several villagers here. Dervish also targetable. Wallol should not be going off whatsoever. He dives in deeper. He finds even more. Kiljardi just peeling away any sort of semblance of an eco lead that Zertan might have felt he had. Gulems have now arrived, and this is the point where Kiljardi can't stay around this age too much longer. He's done some decent damage. The Rams have proved a nuisance, but the tech up is now realized, and Kiljardi needs to find a way out of this feudal age. For the time being, though, more units added in, probably due to the fact he needs to defend at home. Very difficult now with the Gulems arriving there, right? Like, even with free damage going in, the double strike against all these unarmored units, incredibly effective. Looks like he's just going to commit to the fight. So remember what I said before about Gilded Archers? The best thing you can do is stand still with them. If you're ever able to stand still, it's the freest win in a fight. That's exactly what's happening here. And each of these Gulems are insanely expensive right now. Remember that Zertan doesn't have great access to food. In fact, he's running out fast. He's down to the last sheep. Berries don't have much left in them either, right? About 500 food there. So he's going to have to come out soon. And he's still going to have a sizable army for it. So Kiljardi's game sense to actually double down on this feudal army might just be the right call. I felt like maybe he needed a castle age, but I think Kiljardi understood when he dove, when he saw a lack of sheep, when he saw a lack of easily accessible food right next to the base, he probably felt like actually just hanging around and never going castle is the quickest way to get a win here. Another village struck down. Dervishes are at least bringing the relics home. So gold is not a problem, but food most definitely is, folks. The Gulems are not trading well here either. I think trickling in like this is the worst thing you can do. You'll kill one spearman, but lose two Gulem. Two more are going to arrive, but I just don't think this is good enough. This is a throwaway. Zertan, the way he cannot afford to fight here. Micro on point as well. Kiljardi just pulling away injured units before they can actually get taken out. And also now chasing in, just trying to stop that extra relic coming home. We'll block it. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, actually at this stage, now that you're seeing free relics for the Ayyubids, Kiljardi has even less value in going Castle Age. I mean, dude, why would you go Castle at this stage? It's like, by the time you get there, it's like watching your friend with a brand spanking new PS5, and when the PS6 is just about releasing, you're like, I'm gonna buy a PS5 now. Like, that's how you'd feel going for a Regnitz at this stage. Just take this opportunity to buy all the best games ever released on PS4, right? Why rush up? Enjoy your time to bathe in the sun here. Lancers are at least going to still be annoying. Credit to him for keeping these alive for as long as he did, but even the Gilded Men-at-Arms in the early phase are pretty chunky and difficult to chomp through. And the reason why the Gulems are not impactful here is because he kept fighting without Undermesh. So these Gilded Archers hit for 3 damage through your armor, right? Like, they hit for 7 overall, you only had 4 armor. That's why it's looking so trivial. On top of that, now, by having the Spearmen layered in, sure, Spearmen have no armor really to speak of, other than the base 1, but at the same time, they have very high base damage, so the fact that you haven't got the extra melee armor there also hurts you. Just that's why. Then it's a raw number game, right? Like, take this army size and double it. That's a fairer comparative. Moika being blocked out. This game is so uncomfortable right now for Zertan. I mean, has he actually been past 10 military at all? I feel like every time I look up, it's single digit. And it's only getting worse. Camel Lance is now starting to get found and cut off. That's the last of his aggro force. After that, he's only got Gulems. You know, I think the biggest fundamental mistake I'm seeing out of Zertan in this game is not just taking the time with 1 or 2 Gulems to build a Manjanique. A Manjanique would have changed the outlook on this game entirely. Kiljardi wouldn't have been able to keep doing this, because most of his army is Gilded Archers. Speaking of which... Full Porcupine. This game's getting out of hand right now for Zertan. Looks like he did actually find his way onto the flank with the berry, so well played there. A little bit of a misplay there. Kiljardi should have been blocking that indefinitely, knowing the food starvation issue. But it looks like he doesn't care as much now, right? He's going for the tech up on a delay. This is not going to be a Regnitz. There's literally no reason to play Regnitz here. You could just get more value out of going for the Burgrave here and getting the cheaper play into Land Connect even. Instead, though, he's going to double down. Dude, I'm glad he is. I legit think, like, as soon as I said Burgrave, I didn't like the sound of it. I never do like the sound of Burgrave for Order of the Dragon. It's not really that impressive. The 30% production speed and discount feels kind of underwhelming. Just feels like the thing you go to when you don't have Regnets as an option. What he does have an option is never going there. 68 population to 11. Relic at least going to be blocked out. And these guys can dive in, by the way. That is an insane amount of melee. Oh my god, and that's way too many villages. Zern. Well, that is basically almost half his economy. No, that is actually over half his economy. Men-at-Arms could think about diving in. Instead, they're just going to back away and see the goons coming. That opens the path for him to go in. Rams now hitting on the mosque. Gilded Archers hunting around the flank, looking for that soft underbelly. Flash comes in. Men-at-Arms spread out. These Men-at-Arms are actually surprisingly good against Golems. The double strike not impactful against the armor, and the raw HP as well as the golden cuirass makes an ass out of Zertan. He's going to get wiped. This game is close to its conclusion, folks. At this stage, Zertan's still unable to move into double-digit military count. And Kiljadi is never going up. Weird that he moved in with the archers, but not the men-at-arms. These men-at-arms are the thing you dive here with. They're the thing that will kill. I don't like that Kiljadi is camping this area. I get the thought process. Starve him out. Don't let him get any units. But losing a lot of Gilded Archers in the process doesn't feel great. This will, though. Watch this, guys. And gone. Goodbye. Sleep well, fair princess. No getting out for a single villager. That's 5 down. Another 5 to die. Dive on the other side from a single Camel Lancer is just not going to be substantial enough. Zertan may be able to find more pocket resources, but he now has less economy to do that with. This is bloody impressive. I mean, we've been saying it for a while, right? Castle Age is overrated. We've been noticing more and more Feudal Age wins, and this is just a pristine example of how you can punish someone for that Castle Age timing. Order of the Dragon peak in Feudal. It is the most powerful phase of the game without a doubt in my mind. And you're seeing exactly why here. Golems are actually just going to run into the eco. Men-at-Arms are already chasing them, though, and this dive, this army, the damage they could be doing here. They could easily take out the Moss, deny the relics, and then move past. Luckily for Zertan, there's not much eco to find in terms of kills in this base. They've all moved out and abroad. Unluckily for them, the Men-at-Arms have found him. I cannot believe that, dude. The 22 HP Men-at-Arms found this. Oh my god! Dude, look at the health bars on them. The sad reality is Shivs would not kill them quick enough here. Oh my god. That has to be game. Zertan is now 13 eco behind. He has 12 military to 84 military pop cap. And he most definitely does not have the economical advantage. Crazy game. That was an absolute butchering. You cannot afford to get caught standing still against these men-at-arms. Remember, they have a better attack speed than standard MAA. And you just saw exactly what it can do. Golems get caught again. It feels like he can never get the numbers together, man. I just can't believe this. He's about to surpass 20 Gilded Men-at-Arms. Zertan has been in Castle Age for 10 minutes. Does it feel like it? Villagers idle up again, and they are going to run right into their death. That has to be the killing blow, surely. Zertan, there's basically nothing left of him at this stage. He's a husk of his former self. GG gets called. Kiljadi shows you that Castle Age is over.